We've given you the complete arsenal for what you needed. So if it's your first time, you're in for a treat, I appreciate you. But let's walk through the arsenal of some of the things that we've told you to use to make you a better investor. So, number one, to load the boat, the best and ideal price if you want to look for a place to get a bunch of shares would be the 200-day moving average. It's a classic strategy, but most don't use it. People are always looking for an edge, something new, opposed to looking at what works. Use what works. Your savings rate plus the amount that you invest plus the number of shares will determine when you will be free. So put in chat, how many shares do you need to be free? We keep talking about generational wealth, but are we taking generational action collectively? That's what I want for us. So this year has been stressful as hell, but I want to make sure that we're doing our job to make it as peaceful as possible and easy as possible to understand this, so we can all do well together as a family. Number two, the 100-day moving average is a secondary entry point. So let's say it doesn't go to the 200 and we miss the move on the 200. We can then go to the 100. Number three, we told you the inverted yield curve predicts the recessions 100% of the time. So once the yield curve starts to invert, we have anywhere from 12 to 48 months to actually be in a recession. And at that point, when the yield curve inverts, you need to start looking at the companies that you like and highlight the areas where you want to buy if the market drops. Number four, 2 indexes and 2 tech. Number 5, fear and greed calculation of where to buy good companies. Only with good companies. They have to be quality. They can't be low grade, cheap companies. Number 6, we told you crashes only last less than 180 days. So if we know that the market with quantitative easing normally lasts 180 days, and since 1945, the average length of a recession is really only 11 months, we have to endure 11 months, between 180 days to 11 months of pain to enjoy a lifetime of freedom. I had a conversation with an investor who invested heavily in 2007 and heavily in 2008, and then also in 2020. I asked him if he would come on the show. He said no, he likes his privacy. I said, I understand. But the gem that he did want me to share with everyone here listening tonight is that if we follow through and pass this information on to our kids and start them early, he said because of those 2 pullbacks that he's witnessed and been a part of, he's been able to secure himself, his son, his grandchildren, and the generation after. And the crazy part is he never made more than $150,000 a year in corporate. Not 1 year. It's about personal sacrifice. We've given you the fundamentals that matter. So the founder, the character of the founder and the founding team. What's the vision for the company? Their unbreakable competitive advantage. If a company does not have an unbreakable competitive advantage, they will have a hard time being a leader. They may be a secondary or third best player in the space, but they won't be a preeminent player there. Pricing model is key. They need a loyal or ravenous customer base, and then they need a catalyst for multi-decade growth. If a company can't be dominant for 20 or 30 years, you shouldn't consider it having it in your portfolio. We've also talked about how to exit and plan your exits with fib retracements. And then for generational wealth, you got to look to hold for 30 years. The blueprint is here. And the thing that I want us to focus on is eliminating the noise. There's so much misinformation and so much news that comes out every day. It almost makes you change your plan. But the best thing that you can do for yourself, your family, and then us as a community